the 400 additional part-time hours for municipal workers. I gather from our other information I read somewhere that there's a review of part-time hours happening in it. And we will be discussing that at some later point.
Yes, we can address that when we're in questions for those particular departments within the budget if you'd like. To provide a summary sheet that you would have just received this afternoon. It's like this. And that is, Councilor Thibault, to your point at our last meeting, this is providing a summary of part-time hours for 2010 and the part-time hours for 2011 and the change. And there's a couple of comments there to help you understand what those changes are.
It's in the package that was distributed just before this morning.
Oh, there. Yeah, I've got it here. My next question was, you mentioned snow removal for EMS, and on my third page, I guess, it talks about 3630 snowplow removal. Requests for 25,700. My question was is that charge and reason for it? It's estimated cost for the new EMS headquarters snow removal?
Correct. So, for the
is that included in the 325,000 that you just mentioned?
Yes, it is. So we are fully covering that from EMS. Okay. But the cost for that, the cost for maintaining this facility, right, or the management responsibility for maintaining this facility will be done in municipal works. Okay.
And that's the charge?
Correct.
Related to that. My next one was 4810 Principal LTD. This is a new charge for the department. What is the estimated cost for warming for the new EMS headquarters?
Correct.
Okay. So that's the expected.
That would be the portion out of the $325,000. And what I can do is I can bring back a report to the budget steering committee, completely break down how we've determined that cost of the $325,000. So what I can do is I can show you what we're estimating right now to be the principal and interest payments and all of the other costs affiliated with that facility. So it would include snow removal, maintenance.
One of the reasons for my questions is that a lot of the stuff is brand new because it's a brand new situation that we're facing. So it's part of my education.
Absolutely.
As well as.
And I think to be fair, we should provide you with a summary of that specific facility. It's a $5 million facility. Let's show you what's going to cost to maintain.
And I guess it brings me to the visit that we made this morning to the Benson Center. Seems to me that what you just suggested for EMS should potentially be done similarly for the Benson Center. My next one was on transit. And I don't want to pick on that because they've done an excellent job with transit over the last 4 years. We're actually subsidizing them by, I think, about $250,000 less than we were 4 years ago, which is sort of nice. But I was just surprised by the last part of the answer that came back to me. It said the 2011 transit advertising revenue submission is based on current advertising contracts in place. I would hope that what we try to do in every part of our organization is create a margin that's a little bit higher on the revenue side on a regular basis so that we try to reach here instead of settle for what we have. There's a number of opportunities for funding, and I don't want to pick on transit, but I use them as an example for any other part of our organization. A lot of my questions were focused on the revenue side of the business. And which brings me to my next one, which I'm using in economic development. My question.
Just for a second, Mr.
I agree. I think transit's done a wonderful job over the years, but just because you focus on the revenue side of transit, the advertising agreement we have in place is a multi-year agreement. It sets certain changes from year to year. So in terms of being able to, on our own, try and increase the revenue, that's a result of a contract we presently have. And how many years left, Mr. Tapp, on that contract?
It was just renewed, so it will be 5 years.
At the same amount?
At a lesser amount. It went out to tender and there was only one bidder.
Oh, yeah. That's too bad.
Just wanted that clarification.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Number 9, my question there was not so much what came back to me, as much as to look again at the revenue side of the business. The province also has a program that pays $2 an hour for students. And I would hope that we're not limiting ourselves to looking at the funding that comes from HRDC or Service Canada, whatever they call themselves now. And that we do make applications to the province as well for the additional $2 to top up the salaries. If we're looking at 30 or so students for an average of 10 weeks in the summer, multiplied by 35 hours a week, that's a fair amount of cash that could be added to the revenue side of the business, if that's not already being done.